Sign up for the free monthly Wavelengths newsletter online at WHAV.net.
WHAV, Merrimack Valley, open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are here. It's a Monday night, and we're on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM. We've got some great guests lined up for this week. We're going to be discussing the UTEC anti-gang situation that we have coming to Haverhill. And we'll be discussing, I'll learn a lot talking to you two guys. And we'll also, in the second hour, be talking to State Representative DiZoglio. Diana is running for State Senate. And we'll be discussing her campaign and all the things she's done and all the things she's going to keep trying to do. So it's going to be a good show tonight. If anybody would like to pick up the phone and call us, 978-374-1900 is the number for you to call, and you can join us anytime. We'll get you on as soon as possible. A little bit more that I would like to say before we get going into the meat of the shows is that if somebody has a birthday or an anniversary next month, then you should call in tonight and talk to Chris, our producer, and he will take down your information because we're going to be drawing for a cake. Actually, we should be drawing for that tonight, Chris, right? Yeah. This is the last Monday of the month, so if you have a July birthday, get in to the drawing because we're going to be drawing for that a little bit later on this evening. 978-374-1900 is the number to call into the show or to speak to our producer. And we're going to get right into the meat of things right now. It's about 6:08 on your Monday night, a beautiful Monday night. If you're driving around and you have a cell phone, you can still call in Massachusetts. We're one of the few states that can still do that. Now, with me tonight, I have Jonathan Lunde and Miguel Quinones, and they are from the UTEC. And which one of you guys wants to just give me a little bit of background on UTEC? I think that you guys come from Lowell. Is that where it all started?
Yeah, that's right, brother. So UTEC was founded in 1999, and it was actually it was like a youth-led grassroots movement to have a safe space in the city of Lowell because of all the gang violence at that time. So back in the 90s, there was basically a gang war that was going on that was really drawn along ethnic lines. So it was Southeast Asians fighting with Latino gangs. And the young adults in the city of Lowell just didn't feel safe. They didn't have a safe space. So they got together with some people, went before the city council, and got a $40,000 grant from the city of Lowell, with which we opened our doors for the first time back in 1999.
That's fantastic. Now, were you part of that original movement, or are you just getting in?
Nope, I started
later
at
in the game.
I started at 2009, so about 10 years in.
Well,
yeah.
Still, that's great.
Yep.
That's great. And tell me what you can about. I know you get into the community, you get people to know you, but you do some teaching. You have a lot of things going on, right?
Sure. So basically the way that the program runs is we run a workforce development program that's kind of paired with education. So we have a number of social enterprises that we run through which we're able to give jobs to the young adults that we serve. So in Lowell we have like a cafe that's open to the public. We have our food services, a commercial kitchen, a wood shop, and then we have the mattress recycling facility out in Lawrence.
So when you meet people in the areas that you're going to be covering, you explain to them who you are and what you do?
Yeah, that's right.
You're not undercover.
We're not undercover.
There's nothing secretive about what you do.
And we're not with the bright orange shirts that we be wearing.
Yeah. It says UTEC right on it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You can see us coming a mile away.
Okay, and you want that because you're trying to give them some new lease on life, in a sense, right?
Right.
Yeah. And you've already started? You're already in Haverhill?
We have been, we've been up in Haverhill for a couple months now. So we're in this for the long haul. You know, we're not planning on being here for just a year. Like, we really want to be in the community and to start this up and to do it right. So right now we're working on basically hiring the right people for the street team. You know, we really want to hire people from the community because y'all are the experts in Haverhill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not us. So we're looking to hire the right people, and yeah, we're getting things off the ground right now. We're looking at a space as well. I think we're what we got, like a couple we're looking at right now, Miguel?
Yeah, we definitely have been looking at a couple of places in Haverhill that we are trying to identify to be a safe zone so that all the young people in the community feel safe to go and basically use it as a satellite. So the idea really is that they will be able to get enrolled into our program in the Haverhill site, and then we will bring them over to Lowell so that they can start the programming there, and then we will then bring them back to the Haverhill community.
So do you give them like a different, rather than being part of the gang, you take them into another direction?
So I think what really is that we're trying to do is to give the young people an opportunity. I myself was a young person who was lost, who was in the streets, who was in a gang in the city of Boston, and there was a street worker, just like Lunde, that had taken the time to basically put me to do positive things, put me to help the people in the community. So I was coaching basketball with young people. I was, playing basketball every single time. I was in a youth center all the time. I was spending time with the right people to help me then eventually graduate high school, go to a program called City Year as an AmeriCorps member, and build from there. And that's exactly what we want to do to the young people in Haverhill is, hey, if you want an opportunity to stop doing what it is that you're doing and make some legit money and gain some skills, we have an opportunity for you, and we will embrace you throughout that journey.
So it is an alternative that you're presenting to them, rather than you give them some change and some fresh things to do, hopefully things that they'll enjoy and stay with.
Correct.
Now, you mentioned to me before the show started that you live in Haverhill. You've been here for 10 years, did you say?
Yep, just about 10 or 11 years. My wife probably knows better than I do. We did get married here. She had family here. So her older sister was a teacher in Haverhill High School. My mother-in-law is a teacher at Pentucket Lake. I used to work at the Tilton School and also at the local YMCA. So, yeah, we've been embedded into this community for a while.
So that's great, because you already have some knowledge and some roots in the community, so you're not like coming in fresh, without any background.
Correct. So that's part of the reason why I decided to take the opportunity when it came to me to be a part of the team that's going to be helping out with the satellite programming here.
How big of a team do you have, or will it be?
We're hoping to have at least 2 street workers that will be dedicated to be in the Haverhill community. Right now, Lunde and one of our other street workers are doing a lot of that work. But eventually, as Lunde mentioned earlier, we would like to get 2 people hired from the community to fill in those shoes. We're also going to have a mental health consultant that will be working with the young people, and then possibly a front desk person. And then eventually, if it grows, we might have also what we call TCs, which are basically like case managers. They're considered TCs, which stands for transitional coaches.
Great. We're going to take a short break. We're coming up at 6:14, so we usually take a break at every quarter hour, and we'll be back and we'll talk more about UTEC and what's all the things we're hoping to have happen and what will be happening here in Haverhill with you guys being on board. We really appreciate it. This is the new Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Bill Macek and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at WHAV.net.
Catch the wave.
Would it surprise you to know radio still reaches more than 90% of people in every age group every week? It's a fact. And 97.9 WHAV FM's target audience averages 92%. While other media are cutting back, area residents turn to WHAV for local news, information, and entertainment they cannot find elsewhere. Add what has been called the halo effect of public radio, and listeners find business messages more credible and trustworthy than other forms of advertising. For a no-obligation assessment about how WHAV can help your business reach more people than all other local media combined, call 978-374-1900 or visit WHAV.net. Community Spotlight is sponsored by Unicare Life and Health Insurance Company.
Community Spotlight.
crafts, and artists wanted for Tattersall Farm Day. Tattersall Farm seeks crafters and artisans to participate in this fall's annual Farm Day coming up on Sunday, September 9th. In addition to the sale of handmade pieces, Tattersall plans farming and beekeeping demos, pony and hay rides, and live entertainment. Crafters can call Kathy at 978-374-2390 extension 11 for an application. Someone you know is on WHAV. To submit or read your own nonprofit announcements, click on the Contact tab at WHAV.net or email news@WHAV.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, this is Eric Scott.
Support for WHAV is brought to you by Unicare Life and Health Insurance Company. For nearly 30 years, Unicare has provided health benefits to people insured through the Group Insurance Commission. Unicare is proud to be serving over 170,000 GIC members, retirees, and their families.
97.9 WHAV is the only FM station assigned to the City of Haverhill. Your membership is critical to continued operation. It's easy to join. Just click on the membership tab at WHAV.net.
Catch the wave. WHAV. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we are back on the new Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM. I am Bill Macek, and we have a couple of guys here that you could talk to if you have any questions, if you would like to call in. They're from UTEC, and UTEC has already started in Haverhill. I call you an anti-gang team. Is it safe to say that, or do you call yourself something different?
We're just youth workers.
You're just youth
We're
workers.
youth workers,
Okay,
man,
so
yeah.
keep the gang out of it. Keep that out of the title.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we do a lot of work with young men that are gang involved, but end of the day, we like to think young people are young people.
Now, do you think that what's going on in Haverhill, and we do have some gang problems, that you had the same thing when UTEC started in Lowell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were able to somehow diminish that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in partnership with a lot of other people, it wasn't just UTEC starting and then everything got great. You know, we have some great partnerships in the city with partnering with, obviously like the police, and any other people that provide services, So.
And you help them refocus.
Yeah.
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 That's great. And you teach them to, you give them opportunity to, even to play sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Miguel had said before, it's really about giving that opportunity.
Yeah.
It's about kind of like, taking a young person from one community or taking them from like whatever life they know and being like, hey, why don't you try this now? And see if it works for you. I mean, one thing we never do is tell anybody to leave a gang. I've never done that in 10 years that I've been at UTEC. That's not my decision to make. That's not for me to tell them, right? That's a decision they have to make on their own.
Okay.
And that happens sometimes. Like, you take someone from the street, you put them into programming, and maybe it doesn't work out the first time or the second time or the third time, but we never give up on anybody either. At UTEC we give people unlimited chances to change.
Now, it's also the opinion of a lot of people that the shootings that we've had in Haverhill are almost gang versus gang. I think there's only one that they're not real confident that it was gang related.
Mm-hmm.
But the other shootings, whether they're just hits or whether they're actual killings,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that, from what you know, that it's been gang versus gang because somebody's either stepping on their turf or they got issues that they're crossing into each other's lives?
Yeah, like stuff like that. We try not to talk, too much about.
Too much about, yeah.
But yeah, you got it just about right, I'd say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I hope you can give them a new direction and get them on a better path, because people in Haverhill are fearful, and I've tried to tell them that they really aren't. It isn't as dangerous as they think it is, because it's not a lot of random shooting. There's usually a reason why that person was shot at. For not that I'm happy about it. And being a member of the city council, though, we are trying to do whatever we can to try to prevent that type of activity in the city, because that was never what Haverhill had or worried about.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think what the mayor has recognized is that it's escalating, and before it gets any worse, before it gets to the point where it's just really hard to stop. It sounds like the message is, let's do something about this now.
Right.
And just to be very clear about what UTEC really does is we give young people an opportunity to have a job. So they're not just coming to our youth center to just get services and resources to help them out with the path that they want to take in their lives, but they also are employees. They work in these different departments that we have available for them. There's going to be a person that's going to help them get their goals in order. And then they have enrichment activities where we have a studio where they get to record their music and learn how to self-express themselves. We have a gym where they get to play basketball, and sometimes we do basketball tournaments. So there's a lot going on in our gym and in our space that hopefully it appeals to the young people, because again, we have a youth council where a lot of the young people themselves, they organize UTEC.
Now, where is your gym?
So it's all in our central location in 35 Warren Street in Lowell.
In Lowell. So you transport them to Lowell.
Correct.
And they spend time there working out, playing basketball, whatever, or everything, right? They just spend the day there.
Right, and they get paid for doing that.
They get paid for
right. So if they want to take advantage of the different services that we have and want to spend time in developing either their basketball skills or getting their high set and preparing for the high set exam, doing poetry, doing rhyming, they actually get an opportunity to make more money while they're with us. Because again, we understand that one of the things that they have as a barrier is that they need to have income. So we try to provide that for them.
Interesting. That's great. It serves two purposes. Gives them money and also gives them an opportunity to learn or to do something else.
Right.
Keeps them active. Keeps them, rather than just hanging out with nothing to do.
That's a great point. The more time they spend with us, the less time they spend on the street.
Yeah.
Right. That's what happened to me. I mean, if it wasn't for my street worker and him kind of calling me out on the street, like, hey, where are you going? Get in the car. Like, we're going to go play pool. We're going to do this. I need your help coaching this younger team. The street workers really do a good job at keeping the young people involved in positive things. And
So
the young
you
people want that at the end of the day.
Yeah, and you had that experience, but on the other hand, they also probably are some of your best salespeople because they tell their friends about what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing to understand, too, is there's a criteria of young people that are part of our program, so not all of them are gang involved. We also have females that are part of our organization or part of our program. So if they experience violence, if they've done violence, if they're part of a gang, if they're high school dropouts and young parents, these are some of the criteria that also make the program available for the young people in the community that are ages 17 to 25.
And in a way, once you gain their confidence, they feel safe with you and they trust you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, big time. And it takes a while. For some people, it definitely takes a while. But when you walk into our building, you just feel it.
Wow.
The conversations, the way that people talk to each other. I mean, the street workers are working with the young people behind the wall.
Yeah, if you ever come into the building, actually, there's a sign right when you walk in that was made by a young adult years ago. And it's nothing fancy. It's just a piece of cardboard, and it says in black Sharpie, "You are home." And that's one of the first things everybody sees when they walk into the building. We like to think of ourselves as like a big family. We're like the UTEC family. That's kind of how we rock. Like when people come through, as soon as you walk through those front doors, you become a part of our family. We don't ever want anybody that walks through the front doors of UTEC to feel like they've been left behind or to feel like they've been forgotten about.
Well, I think it's fantastic you're here in Haverhill because, especially as a public servant in a way, as a city councilor, we were trying to grasp, more police, but I think you add a different facet to what needs to be done, and what you bring to the table it's got to pay off because it's just such a good system,
Yeah.
and it must have taken time for even the people that started UTEC to figure it all out.
We're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You're always trying to improve and
Exactly.
to make changes.
But, like, we know that we haven't gotten it right yet. So every year we try to build more and we try to scaffold and like add more onto what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because we know we haven't perfected it yet, but we're getting there.
Reminding everybody, 978-374-1900 is an open line. If you want to call in and speak to the UTEC guys here, we got Miguel and we got Lunde. Can I call you that?
You can call me Lundy, sure. Everybody else
That's
does.
his nickname. His real
only-
name is Jonathan.
The only person that calls me Jonathan is my mother.
and especially when she's mad, right?
I think even my dad calls me Lundy now. It's weird.
Okay. Well, Miguel and Lunde are here and ready to take your calls and give you answers on what they're going to do to try and help out the situation of our streets here in Haverhill. 978-374-1900. Now, what do you think about, and maybe I should save this till after we take a break if you think it's going to be a long answer, but what do you think about the recreational marijuana that's going to become legal? In Haverhill, because we voted for it, as you know, we have a responsibility to properly locate. We think it's going to be 6. We think that's the number. 6 retail places for the sale of marijuana and marijuana products.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is it a good thing, or what, do you think it's something that may actually work against what you're trying to do?
I mean, I think that's something that we're still having conversations about and discussing over at UTEC. I don't think we've really taken a stance on it yet.
Yeah.
As far as that stuff goes, though, I will say, I mean, I can't tell you how many times over the years people have, been locked up for it, or like, caught a probation violation or whatever it is, and maybe got like a worse result than they should have for a possession charge or something like that. So I think if you can fix that piece of it, and like maybe we're not going to have people going to jail for minor stuff anymore. That's a good thing. It's going to keep people out of the system.
Right.
But I don't think we've really taken a stance on it as far as the
And it
rest
also
of goes.
doesn't give somebody almost a wall they can't get around on their record for jobs or for
That's the other thing, right?
going
Yeah.
through life.
Yeah.
It always haunts if they've been busted in a sense. So,
Yeah, that's absolutely.
So that's a good point.
Yeah, and that's actually something we've been working on as far as records getting expunged. We had a big expungement campaign. I don't know the full details on it, Miguel. You might know a little bit more than I do on the expungement piece, but we worked on our organizing department worked on that for years. And now, if you do have like the misdemeanor stuff or even some felonies on your record, I believe that'll get expunged from your juvenile records now. So
Right.
that's a big deal too.
That's good. That's real good.
Yeah.
We're going to take a short break right now. We are on the new open mic show on WHAV. We're here every Monday night from 6 until 8. The phone lines are open, 978-374-1900. Give us a call right here at 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Bill Macek and the new open mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at WHAV.net.
It's 628.
Catch the wave.
Now, here's good news for you Gildersleeve fans.
Yes, folks, this is Gildersleeve. This summer, whether you're at the beach, the mountains, or right in your own backyard, you'll be able to hear us every Wednesday night at the usual time. We'll be on the air all summer.
Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. on WHAV.
Wave weather.
Here is the wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. For tonight, clear skies, low in the upper 40s, light southwest winds. Tuesday, sunny, high around 80, low around 60. Southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The outlook for Wednesday, partly cloudy skies with a chance of rain developing at night, high around 80, low in the mid-60s. Southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'm WHAV meteorologist Jim Vaughn. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
Your membership enables WHAV to remain local and independent. Consider joining at WHAV.net.
Catch the wave. WHAV. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Back on the new open mic, Bill Macek here with Miguel and Lunde, and they're from UTEC. And UTEC is already working the streets of Haverhill. Good time of the year. You go in the winter. You guys out in the cold?
Yeah, winter, spring, summer, fall.
It's a great time to start now because the weather is so nice. But
It's
and
funny,
also you can meet more people, I think, at this time of year.
Absolutely, yeah.
Get
people,
them,
people are
to
out.
know about your program, because people are out, nice weather, and
Absolutely.
yeah.
Once it gets really nice out, just wait. We're gonna put a grill in the back of the van. I'm just gonna roll up the different spots, pull the grill out, and do like pop-up barbecues, all kinds of different stuff to engage with these
Great.
guys.
Yeah. Is there anything we can do as a city? Anything the merchants can do, or do you recruit where you need to when you do it on your own?
Yeah, as far as recruiting young adults.
No, recruiting any services, food, restaurants. That kind of stuff. What about opening up? I don't know if we're still doing it. It wasn't too long ago. We would open up at least one or two of our gyms in our schools during the summer.
Yeah, we love new friends. We love partners. So, and Miguel is going to be helping us out with a lot of that stuff in the city here. So, if anybody's listening and they own a business or they have like a connection or anything that they think could help, we love to make new friends. So, feel free to contact us, email us, come down to Lowell, see our building. We love it.
What's the best contact information for somebody that wants to reach out?
You could probably reach out to either myself or Miguel. We can give you guys our email addresses.
Okay,
sure.
you could do that before you leave, and they
Absolutely.
can contact WHAV here, and we'll pass it along.
We'd be happy to do that.
How about on if somebody search for you, or Google search, will you show up? You got a webpage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the webpage is www.utec, which is UTEC dash, like the minus sign, Lowell.org.
Okay. Now, UTEC. I have a high curiosity. I have really, as an attorney, I also have so many secrets that can't leave my lips. But I like to know stuff. So, what's UTEC stand for?
That's the $1 million question,
That's
right? So back when UTEC started, it was started by teens. So the organization is UTEC because it stood for United Teen Equality Center.
Okay.
But since then, we have been working with young adults who are the ages of 20s. So we decided to stay with the name UTEC, but we are no longer the United Teen Equality Center.
Okay, good. But that's a great answer, and now I know. When you talk about age, how young, how old? Are there any limits?
So we work with ages 17 to 25.
Okay.
So you have to be either 17 or 25 upon enrollment. And one of the reasons for that is because most of the young folks that come to us don't have that high school credential. And technically, legally, you need to be 16 and a half to drop out. So that's why we start at 17 and we go up to 25. It used to be 24, actually, but we kept having young men, especially folks that were incarcerated, that were getting released. They were 24, 25, 26. So we wanted to give them a shot, too, and give them some love, so we upped it a year.
Okay, that's great.
But really, the reason for the age, too, is because there's been a lot of brain science done that shows the brain doesn't stop really developing until you're 24, 25. So we feel like if we can get folks to 25, then like the chance of either recidivating and going back to jail or engaging in new criminal activities, it just drops like dramatically. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. That's great to hear. Tell me some stories about your successes that you've accomplished with people. So, without giving names, what's happened that you've seen a guy or a gal go on to do some pretty good stuff? Got any good stories?
Well, I mean, I can tell you some stories. For me, I think
I'm hitting you cold with this. I know.
No, it's cool. So for me, a success is when I see a young man that we've been outreaching to, or my team's been outreaching to for a year or a year and a half, right? And he wants nothing to do with us, nothing at all. But then that one day, after a year and a half, he walks through the front door. That's a success. That's a huge success. Every time somebody gets their high set when they never thought they could, or their GED, that's a huge success. And we have bigger successes too. I mean, we have a young man right now. We worked with him for years and years and years, like old school. I mean, I've been there for 10 years, right? So a long time, me and my partner Mal, my partner Johnny worked with this young man. He was heavily gang involved. He called shots for his little crew. He got shot. Like he was really in the streets. Got shot a couple times. Like really in the streets. And I can't take credit for it. I think it was more some of the other guys that I work with, but this kid totally changed his life around. He ended up, dropping his colors, going to college. Now he's doing great. He moved out of the state. It's like total 180. We have a lot of young men that are like that.
That's
like
fantastic.
that. So yeah.
That's a great story. Yeah. That's what I want to hear, and that's what I hope that can happen. I think you'll make it happen, and the kids in Haverhill will probably see you as a leader, somebody that can lead them to a better place, and that's what we're all hoping for. So.
Like Miguel said, it's just all about that opportunity.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Is.
We're here to give these guys an opportunity and give them something different,
How many kids do you transport? How many kids do you work with? Is there a limit? Or
That's a good question.
Do you hit a point where you need more assistance?
So right now, over the course of a year, between the events that we do, like basketball tournaments, street outreach in the prisons and in the jails, we could touch anywhere from 600 to 800 young men or young women. But those that receive like that UTEC package, the full UTEC package with like the street worker, the transitional coach, access to education, access to a job, all of that, about 150-ish.
A year?
A year.
Period, for UTEC, period?
Yeah, about 150 right now, but we're,
so a portion of that would maybe be from Haverhill. Another portion would be from Lowell. And how many other communities
from
are
Lawrence.
you in? Lawrence?
Yeah, right now we're about, I'm not sure of the exact statistics, but we're probably, like 70% Lowell, and then maybe about 30% Lawrence Haverhill right now. And we've actually been doing work with young men from Haverhill for a few years because of the work that we do in Middleton, the House of Correction out there. We've been in Middleton House of Correction running groups, doing reentry work for about 4 or 5 years now. And during that time, we've met quite a few young men from Haverhill.
Yeah.
So it kind of made sense for us
it
almost
does.
to come and do some work up here since the
you're
relationships
like
that we already
almost
have.
Lower Merrimack Valley.
Yeah.
You're touching all of that if you're working in the Middlesex area. So
yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I just think that what you're doing is fantastic. I'm there with you, and anything that we can do here at WHAV, anything that you have or need, let us know. I'll be glad, at least on Monday nights, to speak out on it. And I'm sure, Tim, our owner, that he'll be willing to help out in any way possible, because we all care about our community, and we hate to have that stigma, because there's so much good happening in Haverhill. So much, being the size, we're almost 36 square miles. Lawrence is 6, Lowell 7.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 5 times or more. We're almost 6 times as
Haverhill is
large.
huge. I had no idea how big. I've lived out here like my whole life. I had no idea how big it was.
Yeah, I think I heard like Haverhill is like the 3rd largest city in the state of Massachusetts. I'm
might
not
be,
sure
yeah.
if it's correct, but it is huge.
I think we're the largest in Essex County. We got areas that you don't even think you're in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You think you're up
we're right in the border.
in New Hampshire, Maine, or Vermont. It's beautiful.
Yes, it
and
is.
so, but our inner city has always been where we usually have our issues. So we're going to hope that you guys can help us take out some of those wrinkles, and I'm sure you will. And it takes time. You're right, and nothing happens quickly.
Yeah.
But I hope that people listening realize that you're there, and it's probably already helping out.
And it's going to take all of us. We already talking to organizations like the Posse Corps and the Community Action and all these other organizations, all these other people that want to be involved, from the mayor to the councilman to the Haverhill Police Department. It's all about becoming one, right? It's all about all of us chipping in and providing more resources so that we are able to together help these young men and women transform. Because at the end of the day, it's like the saying goes, right? It takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
And some of these children, they may have done something in the past, and they're holding it against themselves, and they feel like they can't change because of it, and they're holding this weight, and all that they need is somebody to just pay a little bit of attention and give them the opportunity to change and show them the way. And if we all come together to do that, we can make some beautiful things happen throughout this time.
That's well said, and a great message. And I almost hope that some of the people that are at risk are also maybe listening to this program.
Right.
Probably that's a smaller percentage of people listening, but if you can help one at a time, That's what really matters is,
Absolutely.
get your message out, and, little by little, I think it will spread. I think it's going to do well here in Haverhill. Now, Haverhill received a grant to help bring you into Haverhill, right?
That's right.
I think the governor was behind that, and there's a lot of, I think, interest in doing whatever we can. We got a great police department, from our chief on down.
They've been
know
great.
a lot
They
of the
get it, man.
guys,
Yep.
and I'm sure they'll help you. You're not going to have to wait for them to offer. If you have something you need, we'll make sure that we get it for you. Our mayor, the same way. We're all in this together, and I'm real happy that you were able to be here, that you had the ability to come to Haverhill with a certain amount of people. And you call yourself what? Street
workers.
Street workers.
Not street walkers.
Not street walkers.
Very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
It's funny. People are like, "So what do you do? You just kind of like walk around all the time?" And it's like, "No, we drive. We have cars. We got vans. We don't just walk around aimlessly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to add to what we've been saying? I think that it's been good. We've covered all the ground, I think. And the question is, why is nobody calling? Is everybody just listening, and are they afraid to ask questions? 978-374-1900. You've got to get your call in now, because we're going to wrap this up probably at 1:15, so we have about 4 more minutes to go. Anything else that you want to say? They can Google you, go online to UTEC. It's not just utec.com. It's UTEC
Lowell.
Lowell.org. .org.
Mhm.
Okay, .org. And we're going to have all your information, your emails, and people can reach back to you. How about Haverhill? What do you think? There's a good shot.
Yeah, I would just say that, like, we're not to sound like a broken record, but we're very happy to be up here in the community. We're happy to be working up here, and I think more than anything else, we're just really excited to build. With the partners, with the community, with the young people, and really give these young brothers and sisters a chance. And we've been doing this. I've been at UTEC for about 10 years. I love my job. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And a lot of the people that work at UTEC really have that passion.
I'm sure.
And that heart for this work.
Rewarding to have the successes that you see.
Yeah, and we are, like I said, we're happy and excited to build up here with all you.
Now, let me ask you something else. This is just another one of my thoughts, and I don't know if it's been studied or anything, but do you think that the guns are somewhat, that the video games, some of the violent video games that kids have today, that they almost lose the perspective of shooting a real person versus all the shooting and killing they do with the video games? Is that ever been?
It's tough to say. I mean, I think that's what my era was afraid of, right? So I grew up in the 80s, and I was in Boston, and during that time, all you had was 2 buttons, and there was no blood, and it was just Nintendo, right? And ColecoVision before that, or Atari before that, and games weren't necessarily violent, but the city still was. There was a lot of shootings during that time period. So whether or not these games influence young people, I don't know. I mean, if I, again, look back at when I was growing up, there was a lot of shootings going on without the video games.
Well, we didn't have them here, though. So, I've said as a public official many times that I want Haverhill to be known as the community. We shouldn't go there. We can't maybe get everybody to walk a straight and narrow life, but at least if you come here, you're gonna either maybe get helped out by you guys now, or you're gonna get busted. And it's not the place to be. I want Haverhill to be the safe city, the model community, maybe for the Merrimack Valley, maybe for the state. So we're good. Oh, okay. We'll take that after we take a break. I just want to wrap this up.
Can I just add
Go
one
ahead.
last thing?
Absolutely.
One of the things that my mom used to tell me that I used to hate all the time when she said it to me, tell me who you're walking with and I'm going to tell you who you are. And I think the whole point of having this organization and having these street workers and having these other youth workers that are in this organization is to give people a positive group to be around so that they can walk in different paths. And I think that's what it is at the end of the day, is how much time you're spending on negativity is just going to just reflect.
Right. Be positive. Keep it positive. Yeah.
And be around the positive people that are doing the right thing.
I think your mother had a great saying and a very smart woman.
Yes, she was.
To tell you that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You guys all set? You have anything left to say or add to the interview? Or
There is one more position that we're looking to fill in. So we're going to be starting the Commonwealth Core. The Commonwealth Core position at UTEC is going to be focused on high set. So if anybody's out there that wants to be a teacher, maybe has some background, maybe has done some school, and want to serve a year at UTEC, they can definitely go back online, or they can email me directly, and they will get an opportunity to learn how to be a teacher and help our young people in our organization get their high set, which is basically their GED.
Great. Well, let's hope somebody's listening that wants to do that. This is the new open mic show on WHAV. I'm Bill Macek, and we've been very fortunate to have a couple of the street workers from UTEC here with us and giving us an idea of what they're going to do to try and get some people on a better path. It's been great to have you guys in. We have Jonathan Lund, who is called Lunde, or is your last name Lund?
Lunde. Yeah.
Lunde, it is Lunde. So it's Jonathan Lunde.
It's a hardy.
Yeah, okay, all right.
It's a long story.
Sometimes it's not. No, it's okay. I got a tough last name, too, my whole life.
You know what my real last name was supposed to be?
What?
Brunvatna.
Oh, Lunde is a lot easier.
Yeah, my grandfather had to change it when he came over from Norway a couple years ago.
Yeah, well, most of my on-air time in radio, I've been Bill Maxwell since I started in broadcasting. Because Macek is a tough last name, but because I'm known in the community and because we're on TV, I couldn't fake it. So anyway, I'm Bill Macek, and that's who I am. Cool. And of course, we also have with us, why did I forget your name all of a sudden?
Miguel Quinones.
Miguel Quinones. Okay, Miguel, thank you for coming on board tonight. Really appreciate it. We're here for you. You're here for us. Can't ask for more than that. UTEC is in Haverhill. And you're going to help. Thanks. We'll be right back after a short break right here on the new Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at WHAV.net.
WHAV is on Facebook. For quick access, visit WHAV.net and click on the Facebook icon.
Open Mic!
Hi, it's Bill Macek from the new Open Mic Show, reminding you to join me every Monday night from 6 to 8 with special guests, the top stories, sports, entertainment, and open lines for you to call in to. Join me tonight when we'll be discussing gangs with UTEC anti-gang unit leaders Jonathan Lund and Miguel Quinones. And then in the second hour, our guest will be State Senate candidate, State Representative Diana DiZoglio, right here and only on the Open Mic on WHAV 97.9 FM.
WHAV Open Mic!
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Back again on the new Open Mic Show. It is 6:49, just about. And now we have definitely open lines. Chris, do we still have a birthday call on the line? All right, let's get to that right away. Hello, caller.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
What's going on? You got a birthday to put into the
I
hat?
have like 12 birthdays.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right, well, I hope we have enough time. We can only go till 7.
Yep.
But,
One is Debbie.
Debbie?
Mary.
Michelle.
Ariana and Leah.
Ariana and Aaliyah. Nice names. Yeah.
Tony.
Vicky. Claire. Liz. Kim. Steve.
And Vicky, that's it.
And another Vicky. So we have 2 Vickies and the rest of them. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Chris has all these names written down. Yeah, he's shaking his head. So you're all going to be in the hat which we're going to be drawing a little bit later on during the show. So
okay, good,
thanks
thank
for
you.
calling in. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You too, bye.
Bye. Okay, so that was interesting. 12. I think that's an all-time high, at least in recent history, for one person calling in. But see, we don't care. You can call in if you have that many friends and relatives that you can call in with, who knows, maybe 20 or 25 names could happen. And we'll put all those names in the hat. And then we draw for the cake. Now, the cake is from LBD's second-generation Italian bakery, which is located right in Bradford Square, and they have great stuff in their bakery. You should go in and you should check it out. Maybe you'll win the cake, but even if you don't win the cake, check out LBD's in Bradford Square, and we thank them very much for the their part they play in our birthday and anniversary contests, which we do every month. And this will be wrapping it up tonight for the month of July, people. And then starting in July, we'll be taking August birthdays and anniversaries. I'm Bill Macek, and we are here until 8 o'clock tonight. In second hour, we have a special guest by the name of Diana DiZoglio. Now, you know who that is. Diana has been the state representative for Methuen and a portion of Haverhill, and I think she has a little Lawrence. Anyway, her district that she has served well is going to be up for grabs because Diana's running for state senate, and she's looking to fill the shoes of Senator Katie Ives, who has decided to not run. And we wish her well. She's done a great job, and Katie will. She's going to be a mother, and she is a mother, and she's putting her attention into her child, which I think is very honorable and respectful. So, and who knows, maybe someday she'll be back. This is kind of a great weather period coming up. It's going to be 4th of July in a little over a week, and traffic's going to start building up. I'm guessing by Wednesday or Thursday on 495, we're going to see all kinds of the vacation stuff being hauled either by trailer or hanging off the side of the car, or they're off the roof. You know, you're going to have bicycles, canoes, RVs will be there. There'll be motorcycles on carts, and there'll be all kinds of things being hauled to the campgrounds and other places throughout New England. A lot of them head up north to either Maine or New Hampshire or Vermont, and it's going to be a great weekend. 90 degrees probably every day, I mean for the weekend, both days. So I'm looking forward to that. I got to tell you, I like warm weather, and I'm not going anyplace. I'm born and brought up in Haverhill, and I'm probably going to die here, but you know, I like the warm weather more than I like the winter. Okay, but because I don't have to shovel rain even when it rains. You don't have to go out and shovel, and I just think nice weather in the summer is my favorite season. Fall's good, spring's okay. We don't get much of that anymore, but that's the way I feel. How do you feel? I have open lines. I have just about 7 minutes till the top of the hour, and we are taking your calls. If you'd like to call in, 978-374-1900. I'd like to also mention that the farmers market has started in downtown Haverhill, and now it's on Merrimack Street. It's out in front of the lower portion of the Goki deck. So if you missed it this Saturday, make sure you remind yourself. I think it starts at 10 and goes until 2. And we want to thank Team Haverhill for helping to organize that. And there's a nice bright sign that Jeff Grassi and a few other people worked on to get it painted, and we're very impressed. I was very impressed that they did it so quickly and did such a great job. I think Jenny Arntz was involved too from Creative Haverhill. So we got some good people. You know, I didn't say it when I had the UTEC guys here, but one of the things that I always have said is that the best thing about Haverhill is its people. And, we got some great people, and that's why I'm sure we're going to start turning around this little bit of a downslide we took with whether they're gang members or whatever. We got to tell everybody, put your guns away. You don't need those. We can talk things out, work things out, and we don't need any more shootings in our city. So 978-374-1900. Chris, do you want to do the drawing? Do you have all the names in the hat? Do we have that ready? Okay. Maybe we should do that now and find out who's going to win the LBD's cake. We should. Chris is coming in. Chris is our capable producer. He does everything here. He's the jack of all trades, and we're reaching in. And let's see if we can find one of the names to grab. Okay, I got one. Is that one piece of paper I did? So one piece of paper I have. Okay, and the winner of the LBD's birthday cake is Jackie. Is that Jackie Allendy? Jackie Allendy, and she's from Haverhill, and we send. Do they? They don't have to come in and pick anything up. We send out a certificate. We mail out a certificate.
Yep.
We have the address. So congratulations on your birthday, Jackie, and you are the month's winner for the LBD's cake, coming from LBD's second-generation Italian bakery, located in Bradford Center, right, kind of in the square next to the gas station. And check that out, everybody. And Jackie's going to go in there and get her cake. I bet she'll pick up other things too before she leaves. So 978-374-1900 is the number to call. Now I will take names for the month of August if you want to call in some names, and we'll start filling up the hat again with names for the birthday contest. So some very interesting things have been happening in the city. One of them is Jim Scully, our superintendent for the past 8 years, is moving on. Maybe he'll retire now. I mean, he was retired when he took the job 8 years ago, and he was just going to do it for an interim period of time, and then he was doing a good job, and they said, hey, Jim, want to stick around a little longer? And I think he's been in for at least 2 or 3 or contracts. Maybe it was even 4 if they're 2-year contracts, but we're moving on. And our next superintendent, Superintendent Murata, is going to be coming on board officially July 1st. So that's this weekend. So she'll be on board next Monday. She'll be starting to look at our current school budget. And I think it's important that she puts her own kind of opinion and trademark on the way schools are run. She, I'm sure, has a different style. Everybody does. When a new manager comes in, they like to not change things just for the sake of change, but change things because they have some specialties and some experience that they like to make sure is being done in a way that's compatible with her ideals and her goals for the school department. I'm looking forward to see exactly what she does, and actually we have her scheduled for late September to be on the open mic show after she gets things going and the school's back in session. But it'll be here before you know it. You know how time does fly, and we'll be talking with her. But I think that it's important that she does go in and make some changes for what she thinks are best for the direction of the schools, freshen things up, and at the same time, her experience in Salem, I think, speaks volumes because she saved like millions of dollars. I have a number in my head, but I'm not 100% sure it's correct, but it's a good number, millions of dollars that she saved Salem in the special ed department. That's somewhere that Haverhill probably, if she has expertise in there, could pare some money away, and who knows how much, because of her know-how and experience, that she knows how to do that. So that's going to be interesting to see. So we all have to keep it positive. Just like the UTEC guy said, we should keep it positive. Don't go negative. Let's just keep things positive. We'll figure it out. And sometimes when you least expect it, good things will happen. 978-374-1900 is the number to call. We are coming up on 7 o'clock, and we'll be back with State Representative Diana DiZoglio, and she is looking to be State Senator Diana DiZoglio, and we'll let you know why right after we pause for the 7 o'clock break right here on the new Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Bill Macek and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at WHAV.net.
It's 7 o'clock.
WHAV LP Haverhill.
Here's what's happening in local news. The May murder of 20-year-old Haverhill man Nike Cologne triggered what police say is an all-out gang war, according to an affidavit filed after the city's most recent shooting. In court documents obtained by WHAV, Haverhill police say the June 15th shooting on 5th Avenue was a retaliatory strike against the gang that allegedly killed Cologne. Summed up Detective Ruben Jimenez, I believe the assault is a result of a gang war between these two rival gangs. Although the gang affiliations are known to WHAV, our policy is not to provide additional notoriety to the groups by naming them. The victim in the 5th Avenue shooting, a 21-year-old man, is a close friend of Cologne's alleged killer, Eddie Almonte, according to police. Using video surveillance and eyewitness reports, police determined the 5th Avenue shooter to be 18-year-old Roni Vasquez. According to police, Mr. Vasquez walked up to the victim as he sat in a car outside 45 5th Avenue and shot him before fleeing on foot. Shot in his left ear, the victim required surgery to dislodge the bullet stuck in his jaw. Vasquez has a long history with police, Detective Jimenez confirmed. Following the 5th Avenue shooting, Mr. Vasquez was identified in part because of the sweatshirt he wore that night, and it was worn in one of the previous Haverhill police booking photos. In the days after Cologne's May 17th drive-by shooting death, Vasquez was actively looking to purchase or locate more firearms because of the murder of his friend Nike Cologne, Jimenez reported. Cologne's murder was not the first time the teen was targeted. In November, he and Vasquez were the apparent targets of two separate shootings that took place just days apart. Neither man was hit. The gangs have had an ongoing feud for the last few years, and this feud has resulted in multiple shootings throughout the city, wrote Jimenez. Vasquez returns to court Wednesday for a dangerousness hearing. He faces armed assault to murder charges, among other offenses.
Business Bulletin.
Robots are on the rise, and experts from UMass Lowell's robotics program are set to share the latest on the future of human-robot interaction during a Tuesday talk at the Haverhill iHub. Dr. Holly Yanko of the college's New England Robots Validation and Experimentation Center, or NERV, is expected to deliver keynote remarks during the event from 6 to 8 p.m. The June 26th talk takes place on the 3rd floor of 2 Merrimack Street and is free to the public. Light refreshments will be served. Pre-registration is requested by visiting eventbrite.com and searching for Emerging Technology Speaker Series. Andover's Greater Lawrence Technical School is one of 33 schools statewide to share in nearly $11 million in Skills Capital grant funding to secure new technology and expand programming. Designed to give students an edge on the competition as they advance their education, the Skills Capital grants from the Baker-Polito administration have helped several local schools invest in students' futures. In 2017, Baker visited Haverhill's Whittier Regional Vocational Technical High School to deliver $1 million in funding to revamp the school's machine shop. Greater Lawrence Tech also plans to update their advanced manufacturing program with the state funds. The high school plans to use $500,000 to buy a high-tech milling machine, measuring equipment, and other associated materials for their program. Through a partnership with Northern Essex, Greater Lawrence Tech students have the opportunity to earn dual enrollment credits for their high school coursework that may be applied to college advanced manufacturing certificate programs. The equipment purchased by high schools and colleges over the last 3 years through Skills Capital grants has directly impacted the educational experience for thousands of Massachusetts students to better prepare them for the workforce, Baker said last week. Since 2015, the grant program has awarded more than $48 million to 157 different programs across the state. The Buttonwoods Museum hopes to make new memories with the planting of a new worshiping oak on Tuesday, 14 months after a 2017 storm toppled the tree on Haverhill's Water Street. The original oak was an ancient 1640 artifact and symbol of religious freedom, marking one of the first places Haverhill settlers worshipped, according to Buttonwood's director Jan Williams. Current trustee and former director Joanne Sullivan donated the new tree. Members of the community are invited to a 15-minute commemoration ceremony on Tuesday at 6:15 p.m., Williams said. Following the presentation, the public is encouraged to remain for the evening's program on the history of bowling in Haverhill. Remember, WHAV is the only Haverhill-based news source. There's always more at WHAV.net. From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Rebecca Foster. American motorcycle maker Harley-Davidson is moving some of its production to other countries to avoid new EU tariffs. The Trump administration is reportedly making plans to ban Chinese companies from investing in U.S. technology firms. And U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton is traveling to Moscow to try and set up a meeting between Presidents Trump and Putin.
Wave weather.
Here is the wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. For tonight, clear skies, low in the upper 40s, light southwest winds. Tuesday, sunny, high around 80, low around 60. Southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The outlook for Wednesday, partly cloudy skies with a chance of rain developing at night, high around 80, low in the mid-60s. Southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'm WHAV meteorologist Jim Vaughn. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
97.9 WHAV. 97.9 FM WHAV.
Catch the wave, WHAV. Merrimack Valley. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
7:07, we're back on the new Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM. And my guest for this hour, Diana DiZoglio. Hi, Diana.
Hi, Bill.
How
Thanks for
are you?
having me today.
No, thanks for, and you're not just Diana. You are actually the honorable state representative, right?
Oh, well, thank you very much. Today I'm Diana.
Always a smile, always a great mood. That's you.
Thank you, Counselor.
but
We're going to get formal with the titles. Thank you so much, Counselor Macek.
No, that's okay. You can call me Bill. All right. Now, thank you for accepting the invitation to come in and be a guest on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're in the middle of a big campaign. You're looking to move on to be a state senator.
Yes, sir. I am currently, well, let me just introduce myself to anybody that may be listening today. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Diana DiZoglio. I'm a current state representative. I serve in the House of Representatives representing the amazing communities of Methuen, Haverhill, Lawrence, and North Andover, currently in the 14th Essex District. And it's been my honor and privilege to represent those communities for the last 6 years. I was elected in 2012 in a Democratic primary, and subsequently actually elected in the general election subsequently after that primary election, and began my service in the House of Representatives in 2013. I am currently on the Education Committee, the Mental Health and Substance Misuse Committee, the Election Laws Committee, and the Steering Committee at the State House, and have been serving on most of those committees for the past 6 years. So Senator Katie Ives, the current state senator for the city of Haverhill and the city of Methuen and North Andover, which is, and I don't know where this is touching right now in this region, but she is the state senator for the 1st Essex District. She is stepping down and will be finishing her service as state senator by January, leaving that seat open. So I am going to be running for that seat. We turned in our signatures. I'm on the ballot, and I'm really, really excited to try to take our work to the next level.
Yeah, and I think you have a great opportunity, and I hope that you are successful. and I know you'll do a great job because you've really done so much in 6 years now. It seems like you were just elected, so 6 years is time.
That's
to
why
get
you
things
hear a
done.
little hesitation in my voice when I say 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, I can't believe it myself sometimes.
When I think about all the things you have done, you've been a front runner on certain major issues. That you want to talk about some of those?
Yes, thank you. Actually, so. Well, I think, one of the biggest issues in this area, education, obviously, it's a big issue anywhere. It's not just in Haverhill, not just in Methuen. It's all across Massachusetts, the country, the world, right? But I have had the opportunity to serve on the state's education committee for the last 6 years, and during that time, I've had a tremendous opportunity to not only learn about the education issues impacting our communities, but to also make a difference with those issues, being a committee member. Had the opportunities to meet with teachers and superintendents, advocates, parents, students, and general residents, and hear from them what their concerns are about education in the region. We have significant funding issues. And again, would you just mind telling me, does WHAV cover Haverhill, Methuen?
We cover Haverhill, and we get into Methuen. We're in Lawrence, and we are also well, tonight we're not on HC Media, but we're on some of the other home cable systems.
Just wanted to just check in, just so that I can, because it's different in each community.
Your area, yeah, because even through 97.9 FM, we are in the air all over Methuen. We get up into Salem, New Hampshire.
Sure. So take this area. So take Haverhill and Methuen, for example. Struggling for resources right now for the schools, and I think that the city budgets are very challenging. Of course, being a counselor here in the city of Haverhill, it's challenging in Methuen right now. I don't know if you've been reading the paper, but they're having their own challenges in the city of Methuen, and all of the other surrounding communities as well. But the consistent theme in all of those communities is the need for the state funding formula to change so that cities and towns and our schools are seeing more state funding coming to the school system in a more fair and equitable manner. The Chapter 70 funding formula, the foundation budget we call it, that was done in the 90s, I believe, and it has not been revisited. It hasn't been revisited since the formula was created.
If I can just jump in, one of the areas that I've always felt has been a little unfair is the special ed, the SPED money. And that Haverhill really does spend whatever's necessary. We've made a real commitment over decades to take care in the best way we can any child that is in need of special services. Mm-hmm. And so that costs us millions and millions of dollars. And you take, even some of the more affluent communities don't have anywhere near the per pupil cost if you were to divide it up. And I'd like to see maybe, I think that, even if it's a year lag, that we would get reimbursed for what we do by the state at the same level as, say, all communities. Come up with a formula in a sense, so that it's a better return to the communities that do commit to doing what's right for the children.
And what I will say is that I've been hearing that across every community that I've been visiting, is the need to revamp that formula. Everybody is struggling right now with their budgets, especially when it pertains to special education. We want to make sure that everyone is getting equal access to a great education in the cities that we represent. I think that, when the foundation budget review was done and passed on to the legislature, it should have been passed more quickly, and it hasn't been. Now, kudos to the state Senate right now. They did actually pass that budget review formula forward, and that was passed through the Senate recently, just a couple of weeks ago. We did vote yes to pass that out of the Education Committee recently in the House of Representatives, but it is still being held up by House leadership right now, and I think we need to pass that sooner than later to make sure that cities and towns are getting their fair share. Regarding the special education issue, Bill, when I first came in 2013, that was one of the first things that I had to get very quickly, speaking of education, had to get very quickly educated about. Yeah. And, we had I had worked with kids in the community and, had done a lot of community activism regarding education, regarding, lots of different things. But when you get into an elected seat, now you see the other side of how we're going to actually fund these priorities that everyone has been advocating for. And what I found when I got elected and started service in 2013 was that the state was actually funding special education only at about, it was somewhere between like 41 to 43% in 2013. And cities and towns were having to lay off teachers, close media centers, all sorts of things were happening because they couldn't afford the costs, because the costs are unpredictable. The state wasn't upholding their end of the bargain. The state was supposed to be fully funding those special education costs at 75%. That was the state's commitment.
Right.
So a few of us who were elected to the House of Representatives and a few state senators got together, and we started strongly advocating for the passage of, a full funding in the budget that year. And I remember that Chairman Dempsey and I, that was one of our first meetings was me coming in and saying, Chairman Dempsey, I know you've represented the city of Haverhill for a very long time. Not only Haverhill, but all the other communities in the surrounding area are struggling with their budgets. And he was very receptive to that. And I remember working with him and leadership at that time to get the formula up to its full 75%, which prevented the teacher layoffs and
that's great.
And greatly helped the situation. So,
well, there's one of your successes. We'll talk about more, but we're going to take a short break right now, okay?
Already, okay.
All right, okay. This is the new open mic. My guest is State Representative Diana DiZoglio, running for State Senate. Big election coming up in September and then again in November for her, but I think she's going to do just fine. And you will be here when we come back, right? You're not leaving. I'm not going to let you go. It's too early.
Oh, I'm here.
All right, good. All right. Just kidding. All right, this is the new open mic. I'm Bill Macek on 97.9 FM.
Open mic!
Bill Macek and the new open mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at whav.net.
Those Boston stations don't always understand weather in the Merrimack Valley. Stay informed with WAVE weather every 30 minutes, 24 hours a day on Soft Gold WHAV.
Catch the wave!
Hi, Tom Bergeron here. I started at WHAV in 1972. And look, WHAV's still here, but it won't be if you don't help support it. Go to WHAV.net. Become a contributor. Keep us going.
Community Spotlight.
Residents of Plastow, get ready to rock. The town's annual summer concert series is Wednesdays, offering tunes from the 70s and 80s, starting at 6 p.m. on the Town Hall Green. Concerts are weekly, weather permitting, through the first week of September. There is no concert on July 4th. All shows are free and open to all. A full list of scheduled acts are available at WHAV.net. Someone you know is on WHAV. To submit or read your own nonprofit announcements, click on the Contact tab at WHAV.net or email news@WHAV.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
Open mic!
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV-FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
We're back on the new open mic. Bill Macek and State Representative Diana DiZoglio, a candidate for the State Senate seat currently held by Katie Ives. And you're in the middle of campaign season, but you found time to come to the new open mic. We appreciate that very much.
Absolutely.
Now, you were working on fixing up your headquarters today, you mentioned?
Yes, we were. Actually, for the last several days, we've been working down in downtown Methuen to open up our campaign headquarters. And we are right next to the restaurant Bada Bing. It used to actually be Rostron's Liquor Store a while back, and that hasn't been in business for quite a while now. So it's been vacant and...
Nothing left behind.
There were a lot of things left behind, actually. A lot of cleanup to do. But, we're very grateful for the space because it's a prime location.
Yeah,
and,
sure is.
The glass windows, so we'll be able to see everybody walking by. They can see what's going on in there, see us working hard in there, and some of the campaign interns that are excited to have a new space.
Now, when will people, when will that be staffed so that if somebody wants to stop in, pick up a lawn sign or help
So
out?
we should be putting up hours on the doors soon. We need to do a sort of grand opening, I think,
Sure.
first, and
Yeah.
let people know that we're there. This is sort of the first announcement, so
Okay.
yay, WHAV,
We got
the
it.
first
We got
announcement
it.
here.
All right.
But we will be doing a sort of a grand opening for the office and
Good.
and getting that
Let
going.
us know
but
when it is.
Definitely.
Maybe I'll even show up.
Yeah, well, we would love to have you, Counselor.
I
We'd
would
love to
plan-
have you.
I would plan on it. Yeah, absolutely.
So lots of work the last couple of days, though, but well worth it. They had old paneling on the walls, and the floors was all, kind of broken tile, and
So you did renovation.
lots of
too.
cleaning.
Not just running a campaign, you're running the
nice
renovation.
big whitewash we did
Yeah.
all over the walls and
Yeah.
clean it up a little
Did
bit.
you film it? Like for HGTV or something?
No, we got a cut. We it's a low budget operation happening
Oh.
over here on the campaign trail, but we did take a couple of photos with my phone, so I can
Yeah?
text them to you and show you
Is
the
there any
before
other,
and afters.
Is
We'll
there
post
any
them
other
to
way to
Facebook.
take pictures anymore? I use my phone. It's like the
You know what's funny? I don't own a camera.
Yeah, I have an old one, but it's probably not. My phone's probably got better resolution and stuff. So.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
just have my camera phone, so that's
Yeah.
what we use on the trail.
It is. That's good. So, anything else coming up? You must have some fundraisers probably coming up for.
We do.
your
We
campaign.
actually are supposed to be having a fundraiser on July 24th. We still have to make sure that all the details for that are situated,
Yeah.
but several co-hosts on that committee invite from the community. It's a Haverhill fundraiser, and we're going to be having it down at the Hidden Pig
Oh yeah.
on
yeah.
July 24th,
new-
which is a Tuesday at 6 p.m.
People
so,
wonder about the name. They ask me sometimes. It's a hamburger place, pretty much, right?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's fantastic. If you haven't gone to the Hidden
That's
Pig,
what everybody says.
you absolutely need to go there.
Yeah.
Fantastic burgers, best burger I've had in a long time.
It's right on the
have to say.
corner where you would turn down behind what they call the Tap parking lot.
Yes,
Right,
exactly.
yeah, right
Yep,
there.
right next to the
Right
Tap.
on-
So everybody knows where the Tap
right
is.
on
It's a new fun
Washington,
restaurant.
Washington Street, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right after the railroad trestle.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So listen, you're running a campaign. Are you going to be riding the motorcycle this time? The scooter? The scooter?
So for anybody that's listening
I
right
will
now-
remember that for the rest of my life. That was so cool that you did that. Was that your second or first reelection?
That was my second.
Your
So,
second.
so for anyone that's listening that doesn't know what Councilor Macek is talking about, I actually my second run for state representative, my reelection campaign, my first reelection campaign. I found out that I was going through a lot of gas in my car at the time, and I actually had an SUV at the time. It was an old Honda CR-V, and burning through a lot of gas on the campaign trail, driving around, stopping and starting all the time. It was putting a lot of wear and tear on my vehicle at the time, and I remember thinking there has to be a better way for me to get around and not spend as much money on gas and get around more quickly, and have a little bit more fun at the same time.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking out a scooter,
Yeah.
a very small scooter, not one that goes on the highway or anything like
Yeah.
that. Went out, spent a couple $100, got the scooter, and ended up going door to door on the scooter. And it was easy to hop on, hop off, run up to the door, introduce myself, get on to the next house. And, my cost for gas at the time was reduced by like 90%. So
See, it just shows you're a great thinker.
Yeah, well,
you got a little problem with the cost of gas. you'll
shoestring
figure it
budgets
out.
during the state rep race has
Yeah.
also helped with that idea.
Yeah.
So, but we did have a lot of fun, and it was a big hit on the campaign trail. So I'm glad we
Yeah.
did it.
It's memorable.
Yes.
Yeah, creative. Just shows your creative mind. That's great. Great. Hey, we have a caller online. It's one of your Methuen constituents. His name is Jerry. And
Jerry McCall?
Yes, you know Jerry.
I love Jerry
Yeah,
McCall.
me too. He's an ex-DEP guy from Massachusetts, and he at the age of 90, he's still sharp and he's still with it and still inquisitive. So Jerry, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. McCall.
Diana. Good evening, Diana.
Good evening, Jerry. So excited to talk to you. How's everything?
Yeah, thank you very much, and I wish you all the luck in your candidacy, and I know you're going to win, and I certainly will be supporting you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
It isn't too hard in Methuen, it isn't too hard to come to the conclusion that the police budget, needs to be retrofitted. May well be the word, but I think also, and I know that I'd never get elected the school committee if I say this, but I've been saying it for a number of years. By the way, I did have a teaching certificate when I graduated from Merrimack, and so I know a little about the education system, you know. Well, anyway, what I'm saying is that approximately a year or two ago, the Tribune came out with an editorial, and basically it said that the Methuen School District was top-heavy with administration. And so I've been interested in that, and one of the things I'm concerned about is you never really hear much about teacher evaluation. I know that when we worked for the Commonwealth, every quarter you were evaluated, and if you didn't pass the evaluation, then you didn't get your your step increase the next year. But it seems to me we've been pouring money into the school system, and last year, it's my understanding, even in a lean year and when the budget was low, there was still approximately 23 people in the school administration were hired. I don't know how many teachers, how many administrators, but in looking at the more or less table of organization, it looks to me like it could be top heavy. And the thing is that we keep throwing money into this system, and we still have a level 3 high school.
Jerry, didn't I read that there were 52 teachers? I think I remember that number, but quite a few school employees were let go this year, I think, in Methuen. Isn't that true?
The other thing, I was just wondering, there are think tanks that really can do a wonderful job, and one think tank that in the past I've looked at some of their work while I was at DEP is the Pioneer Institute, and I was just wondering if the city fathers would fund some kind of a study to be conducted by the Pioneer Institute. Education is their kind of specialty.
Jerry, those are all great ideas, but unfortunately, Diana, she's a state person and not a city person, so she could maybe try to pass them on, but...
Well, definitely. So Mr. McCall, it's always, first of all, thank you so much for calling. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And Mr. McCall actually used to live right down the street from me on Hampshire Road.
Yeah, Jerry is the word, Diane.
Yes, I know, but I still, growing up as a kid, I still
respect
Mr. McCall.
Just respectful.
So let me just say this. Let me say this. Whatever I can do to help, I am going to do. Whatever I can do in my official capacity, I want to help. Regarding the school issues, the police issues, and the city issues that are happening in Methuen right now, in my legislative role, we don't have a vote on the different things that they're deciding right now, as you already know. But what we do have is we do have the opportunity when the counselors and others are asking us to put the home rule petition requesting, a borrowing bill, requesting to borrow money to pay off debt or to pay off past debt or to be able to fund even the FY19 budget. It's called deficit borrowing. Now, when we make that request, what your legislators are currently doing, all of us are doing this, Frank Moran, Linda Campbell, and we are all coming together, speaking with the Office of Administration and Finance and with the governor's staff in order to make sure that we're all on the same page about the best path moving forward in filing the home rule petition for the city of Methuen and making sure that provisions are in place to try to help to get the city back on track to where it needs to be. And I heard you talking about some questions about budgeting issues, whether it be the police budget, the school budget, the city budget, whatever it is. Part of the proposal, part of that home rule petition, in speaking with the governor's office, what everybody came to an agreement on was the need for an audit to investigate the gaps in the finances there. What are some of the financial challenges that the city is facing right now? How can we identify those gaps and make sure that those gaps are being filled to prevent this from happening moving forward. So part of that home rule petition will most likely, and we're still working on this with the governor's office and with the Office of Administration and Finance, but it will most likely have a fiscal overseer as part of the package, as part of the petition. It will most likely also have an audit that will be conducted as a provision in order to receive or in order to pass the borrowing bill. So as a state legislator, that's what I'm committed to working on, is to making sure that we have provisions in place that can help the city to get back on track. And, I invite you to contact my office at any time if you have some ideas or, further commentary.
Diana, that's the best news I've heard since this budgeting episode started. Honest.
Yeah.
A strong oversight from the Department of Revenue. That's going to do the trick. Really, Methuen really needs something like that. I mean, not only as a result of the schools budget problems, the police contracts, etc.
Right, and we need somebody to come in and to do an audit and to be able to identify where things went wrong. Where we can help the city to not go wrong again.
Can improve, for example.
Exactly.
I have some ideas, where big money could be saved, without a lot of major, union problems, but it needs to be implemented. I can't get to the council meetings anymore. I'm 90, but when I did articulate most of these things, but nobody would listen. Really, nobody would listen.
Jerry, I've got to stop you because we're going to take a break, and I want to thank you for the call. And you're a regular here. We want you to call in every week. You have great comments.
Jerry, I'm happy to listen anytime. So since we're running out of time here, feel free to call me. You have my number, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the call. We're going to be back with Diana DiZoglio and a little more information right after we take a short pause right here on the new Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at WHAV.net.
It's 7:32.
Try listening to WHAV in your car or anywhere on your mobile phone. For fast access, visit WHAV.net.
Catch the wave!
Melinda's Garden Moments help gardeners create and maintain a healthy, beautiful garden with ease, inside or out and all year long. This is Melinda Myers, inviting you to tune in every weekday morning, right here on WHAV. You'll learn creative ways to grow your own vegetables and herbs while beautifying your landscape. Eco-friendly lawn care, flower garden design basics, unique container gardens, attracting birds and butterflies to the landscape, and much more. Again, please join me weekday mornings for Melinda's Garden Moment for a very environmentally friendly approach to gardening. Remember, only local radio can bring you this feature opportunity, but only WHAV does.
Wave weather!
Here is the wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. For tonight, clear skies, low in the upper 40s, light southwest winds. Tuesday, sunny, high around 80, low around 60. Southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The outlook for Wednesday, partly cloudy skies with a chance of rain developing at night, high around 80, low in the mid-60s. Southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'm WHAV meteorologist Jim Vaughn. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we're back on the new Open Mic Show. Bill Macek here, along with State Representative Diana DiZoglio. And she's running for State Senate. And the election is the day after Labor Day this year, right? It's a little
That
early.
is the primary,
So
yes.
we've got to get people out.
Yes, that's the primary. I am going unopposed in this year's primary for the first time, but I do have a challenger for the general election in
Right.
November 6th.
Right.
So I will need your support. So
Your
anybody
support.
listening, if you don't know me yet, or you don't feel like you have enough of an opportunity during just this segment to get to know me, and you're considering me, or you're considering who to vote for in the November election, I would appreciate your strong consideration. I'd love to speak with you more about my platform. My website is dianadizoglio.com. My email is diana@dianadizoglio.com, and my phone number is 978-390-0408. I'd love to earn your support and be happy to chat with anybody who would like more information about my candidacy.
Well said. I didn't even have to ask you, what about your contact information? You just went for it, Diana.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure
That's
everybody
it.
has an
And
opportunity.
We'll let you do it one or two more times. So what else is on your radar screen, in a sense? You know, if you're successful, which I'm sure you will be, but what do you want to do as senator? Because now you're going to represent all of Haverhill, right?
Mhm.
But you know what? I feel like you do anyway, because you have just a little corner, but you do a lot for Haverhill, and you're here when you need to be. And I mean, Brian Dempsey's old district, which Andy Vargas has now, is the big chunk.
Mhm.
And then between you, Lenny Mara, and Linda Dean Campbell, the other portions are sliced up. Right?
Yes, so I've only been representing one precinct in Haverhill for the last 6 years, but it's been a tremendous opportunity to represent that one precinct, Bill, because I've gotten to know all of you.
That's right. But you do a great job just working, for a little piece of Haverhill.
So
I can only imagine what you would do as senator.
Well, thank you. So it's been it's been an honor and a privilege the last 6 years to represent that little area, but I am very motivated to have the opportunity to represent the entire city after having gotten to know everybody.
Right.
Just from that little one area.
Well, that gives you a jump start, too, because you kind of know what's ticking.
Yeah, I mean, listen, born and raised in Methuen, my mother lived in Haverhill for several years, from the Merrimack Valley.
Yeah, exactly.
My heart's here. I think that, having been already a representative of the area, certainly it does provide me with more insight into the needs of the community. I think regarding the question that you asked about state senate and what I plan to do as state senator, continue the work that I've been doing as state representative. People always ask me, what's your top issue? What are your top 3 issues? It's tough to come up with your top 3 issues because the reality is that as a state representative, we are more so generalists than anything. And even though we have our areas where we might, have gotten more work done in any given year, we can be working on anything from transportation to senior care to veteran care to early childhood education to infrastructure and economic development. I mean, you name it, we are working on, that particular issue just depending on the time.
You were active in the opioid issue, too.
Yes, absolutely. So as a state representative, I filed and passed legislation to help monitor opioid prescriptions to help prevent overdoses and addiction issues with opioids. I filed and passed legislation to help our veteran population to get rid of actually their excise taxes for active duty military men and women when they're serving abroad, so they don't have to pay excise taxes on a vehicle that they're not driving, alleviate some of their burdens while they're serving our country. Also was able to bring back a significant amount of funding to our veteran services agencies in the city of Haverhill. In particular, VNOC, Veterans Northeast Outreach Center, and Career Resources, which helps our disabled veterans, fought for and delivered increased funding for our councils on aging, our senior centers, to make sure that our seniors are not only living in these communities and able to stay alive, but that, make it so that they're able to thrive in the communities. Quality of life, social engagement and interactions, having a reason to get up every morning and to engage with members of the community and having a place and a center to do that in. We already talked about the education piece. But infrastructure, local, economic development, especially working in coordination with Chairman Dempsey. We see Harbor Place downtown. We see all the great economic development that's happening downtown, making sure that we're working to repair our roads and bridges. It's across the board, Bill. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'll just stop there. It's a lot.
It is a lot. And you're just rattling it off. She's not working with notes, everybody. She's working without a net here. But she knows it all.
So, continuing to build upon that work, I think that, state senate, it's a big responsibility.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that you need to be prepared to be in the state senate. You're 1 out of 40 instead of 1 out of 160 like I have been as a state representative. And being a state rep has given me a tremendous opportunity to learn, to grow, but also to get things accomplished, to, become ingrained in this community and to really have my finger on the pulse of what's going on in this community with a smaller region to represent. But in that time, I've proven myself to be someone who is capable of taking an independent stand when it counts at the State House on the issues that are important to my region and standing up to leadership at times when I needed to for the values of this community and for our shared values. But also being able to be effective, making sure I was able to work to get my legislation passed that was important to the residents here and to get the funding. So I think the last 6 years I've had an opportunity to prove that I'm capable of getting the job done for the Merrimack Valley, and I hope that you think so too.
And I do think so. And the other thing that you didn't say that I'm going to say, you've also taken some leadership roles, and you've kind of driven certain things as the leader of that cause or what's needed there. So I think that's also what you've learned to do, and you can take that to the Senate side.
Thank you.
And be a leader there too. And especially for us, for the Merrimack Valley. Is it the lower Merrimack Valley? I think, how would you, because what's your district?
Like I said before,
you cover from Newburyport all the way up Methuen-ish, right?
Yes, so currently, again, I have Methuen, Lawrence, Haverhill, and North Andover, and in the state Senate district, Methuen, Haverhill, and North Andover will still be a part of that district, unfortunately, and it is very unfortunate. I will be losing Lawrence out of that Senate district if I am to be elected, but I'll still be, their representative in spirit, and will still be in the city often.
I'm sure you'll work
of course, absolutely,
hand in glove.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And try to be as helpful as possible.
Yeah.
And now in the state Senate district, I will hopefully be picking up Amesbury, Merrimack, Newburyport, and Salisbury in that region. And I also have been representing only portions of North Andover, Haverhill, and Methuen as a state representative, but as state senator, I will be representing the entire
Do you ever sleep?
communities.
Not much.
In the entirety of the communities. It's funny that you asked that, because when I looked at my schedule and saw that I was coming on tonight, I was both excited and a little nervous, because I have not been getting much sleep lately.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
You kind of start to, get a little scatterbrained at a certain point, and you hope you can keep on your points that you're trying to get across. But
You're
we seem
doing
to be
just
making
fine.
it out alive
You're
here.
doing just
So
fine. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you have your new headquarters. You have a campaign. You have a September 4th, I think it is, right? That's the where you're on, but you have no opposition that day. So
I will be on the ballot
you'll
in the
be on the
Democratic
ballot in the-
primary, and I
right.
humbly and respectfully ask for your
people should go
support.
and at least check your box.
And
because
then I absolutely
Need 'em.
need your support when you go to the general election
in November.
in November.
Do you know the date? I haven't even looked at the date for November.
Tuesday, November 6th.
November 6th. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll know it better next year when I'm running again. But I'll be there. I'll be. I always vote. Always vote. Never miss an election.
It's so important.
It is. It is. And I've always been that way, even when I wasn't in office. So, I think it's important. It's a right we have, and we should exercise that right.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, look, we're coming up on quarter of, and if you want to get back to your headquarters or do something else, because you said, how long am I going to have to be? No.
Oh, not have to be here.
No. How long does this go?
I love being here.
Yeah. Do you want to stay till later, or you need to move on?
I do have an 8 o'clock. That's what I was
Okay.
concerned about.
All
I
right.
love being here. I just
We'll
do have
you
an
back
8 o'clock.
Again, Diana.
So,
but let's let you give your elevator pitch for why people should vote for you, how they can contact you, and just go through it one more time.
Well, in 1 minute,
all your contact information.
In 1 minute, I don't know if I can do a complete elevator speech right now, but I will say this. I've been serving this area for the last 6 years, but I've lived here my entire life. My heart and soul is this community. I love this community. I love all of my neighbors who live here, and I really want to continue to serve in the capacity of being a state legislator. I'm asking for your vote in November to move from state representative to the state senate, where I will not be 1 out of 160, but will instead be one out of 40, giving the Merrimack Valley a greater platform and a stronger voice for our shared values up on Beacon Hill. Thank you so much for listening today. You can contact me at diana@dianadizoglio.com, or once again, you can just give me a call. My cell number is 978-390-0408. Thanks so much for your time today.
So that number gets directly to you.
That goes directly to you. I have my cell phone right here.
See how open and honest she is? Transparent.
We already have the phone ringing right now, so I have a lot of phone calls to return.
All right. Diana, thank you for coming into the Open Mic Show.
Thanks so much for having me,
You're welcome here
Bill.
anytime. And I wish you all the luck in the world in your bid to be the next state senator for the district.
Thank you so much, Bill.
All right. We'll be right back, and we'll take it till 8 o'clock tonight on the new Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic!
Bill Macek and the new Open Mic will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. If you're enjoying this program, consider becoming a WHAV member right now. Just click on the membership tab at WHAV.net.
Broadcasting on the Armstrong FM system. This is 97.9 FM WHAV.
Catch the wave!
When the Haverhill School Committee meets, 97.9 WHAV FM is there live from Haverhill City Hall. Class sizes, special education, teacher hiring, and spending are among the topics covered Thursday nights at 7 when the school committee is in session. WHAV's live coverage is presented in part as a public service by Youth and Powerhouse, formerly Girls Inc.
WHAV Open Mic!
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the new Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we are back for the final turn here on the new Open Mic Show. It's 7:47 on a beautiful Monday night. And we are looking for calls all the time, especially when we are not doing a guest interview. And I'm here tonight with you for the next 13 minutes or so. So give me a call, 978-374-1900. What's on your mind? You've heard some great interviews this evening. We had a couple of guys from UTEC, a couple of the street workers. And you know what they're all about? They're all about trying to get kids on the right path. They've done it successfully in Lowell for quite some time, and now they're here in Haverhill trying to also just connect with the kids in the street that need a better cause, a better path, and they're doing it. So it's not going to be easy. It takes time. Sometimes it takes a long time for them to even win them over, as they expressed, but they definitely will be helping out here in Haverhill. It's called UTEC, UTEC, and you can Google them and they'll come up. They're out of Lowell. They have a .org that I don't have in front of me, Facebook web page. So anyway, and then Diana DiZoglio from Methuen her whole life. She's been a state representative for 6 years. She's doing a great job, and she's looking to move on to be state senator. And she's there's no competition, unchallenged in the Democratic race. And then I think she has one Republican, maybe a second one in another party. But she, I think, is on her way to be our next state senator, replacing the retiring Katie Ives from Newburyport. So, and we wish Katie a lot of good luck and success in whatever she ends up doing. What's on your mind? 978-374-1900. A lot of things going on in the news. We could talk about some of that. We've had some interesting things going on nationally. If you want to talk about whether you think it's right for people to disrupt somebody's attempt to sit at a table in a restaurant because you don't like their politics, is that really a good thing to do? Is that where we're at? Really? Or should, there's nothing, from what I understand, they really can't be stopped because all of the discrimination laws, even if at this point, the event that is in the biggest part of the news, the one with Huckabee Sanders, she was sitting with her in-laws in a restaurant, and the owner of the restaurant asked her to leave. And then what I heard subsequently this afternoon is that the owner also followed them to the next restaurant and made a ruckus there for her and her family. Is that really appropriate? And what I've also heard is that the problem is that the discrimination laws, if an owner tells you can't eat here in my restaurant, that they really deal more with race, creed, color, religion, that kind of stuff. They don't deal with politics. So that's never been really put in any of the legislation. So is there a void that needs to be filled, or is it something that hopefully will just go away, and people will stop being so rude to not allow somebody to, and you know what, you missed out on a table and probably big tippers at that table. So, why do we have to get so involved, and why does it have to be so black and white? Why can't we agree to accept the way somebody else feels in their life, which differs from the way you may feel about something in your life? Can't we just either meet in the middle sometimes, or just agree to disagree? Or one of my favorite quotes of all time, not real happy with who said it, but I remember it. Rodney King, as he was being beat to the ground in Los Angeles, California, by the police, he said, "Why can't we all just get along?" And I think that's a great statement. Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we respect one another? Martin Luther King, what he was saying before he was shot and killed, another tragic incident. But he, and I remember as a young kid hearing this, and it's kind of the way I've always lived, is that we should all be colorblind. I remember that being one of his quotes of all time. And we shouldn't be getting so involved with race and division by race. I think we should all get along, and we should all also respect one another regardless of whether we match in color or origin. So I think those are things that we need to do. We should all work and strive together to make our lives good and make things better as we move forward. So that's what also UTEC is going to be doing here in Haverhill. They're trying to get people positive. Let's think positive. We don't need to be negative all the time. Let's look at the positive side. Another thing that I heard, I hear these little things as I go through life, and they stick with me, some of them. I remember hearing once, I was listening to, actually a long time ago, to a radio show, and somebody said, what's wrong with the world today is that people don't think like the handicapped. And that really caught my ear. And people don't think like the handicapped was explained by the gentleman who said it, that people who are not handicapped usually feel, life could be so much better. But people who are handicapped usually feel it could, and think it could be so much worse. And that has taken me through some pretty deep, rough patches in my life. When you think, can't get any worse. But when you think about, about that statement, if you think about what's going on in just the area around you, not even the world, just, you don't have to look too far to find people that are sometimes worse off than you are. And you should be thankful that you have what you have, even when you're struggling. You can always find somebody that's struggling even harder or in a worse position. So those are just some little thoughts for the day. I hope that maybe they'll stick with you too and help you get through some rough times and maybe even help you get along and have a little bit more respect for a diverse opinion that somebody else might have. as to how they feel about something or the way they conduct their life. It doesn't need to interfere with you, and you shouldn't get in somebody's face just because you don't agree with something that they feel they do agree with. So those are just some of my thoughts for this evening. It's 7:54 right now. There is still time to give me a call if you want to weigh in on something I just said or anything else. I'm looking forward to, not that I really like Jim Scully. He and I got along fine. We had a number of conversations on many topics, and I think he did a real decent job for the city. Pulled us out of some tough positions, the whole hunking school. He was part of getting us the new school and in the construction of the new school. And, I'm not at all saying that Jim Scully didn't do a great job. On the other hand, when you change horses or when the ride changes for a horse, in this case, the new superintendent coming in, I think that it's time to let her change. Margaret Mariota is going to be our superintendent effective July 1st. She's already been in town. She's already been kind of acquainted herself with what's going on, but she really takes the reins starting next Monday, and she will have the opportunity to look at that budget, and she will have the opportunity to see where maybe she would like to make a change. And because of the way the budget system works, form of government here in Haverhill, Form A government, the council actually we can advocate, but we cannot add money to any of the budget. We can only cut or we can approve what the mayor has appropriated. Or we can advocate, saying, we would like you to consider, Mayor, doing this, putting more money here and moving money around. But as far as the school budget is concerned, they have full control to move their own budget around. The school committee does. And so we try to get them the line we can. And other than that, regardless of what line item it is, regardless of what it's funded to, the school committee can change all that. And so what I believe will start to happen sometime not too far away with the new superintendent is that she's going to dig in, and she's going to maybe move some things and some people and maybe change some job descriptions, some titles, maybe bring on some new people, and she will have the flexibility to do that. We did put about $200,000 in the last budget session last Tuesday night with the support of the mayor. So she has a little flexible money. Three members of the school committee and the majority of the council did favor a larger amount, a little over half of that. A little over twice that. The mayor couldn't see his way clear to do that. So right now he's offering the $200,000, but he has also committed that come sometime in the fall, November-ish, when the free cash is certified, that's money left over from this budget, he would be open to speaking with the new superintendent about some areas that she believes she could use some more funding, and maybe even some other departments that he might be open to spending a little bit of the free cash once it becomes available late this year. So he did that last year, and I believe he will do it again. And we're once again, you don't have to look too far to see somebody who's in worse shape than we are. Think about Methuen. Methuen, as you heard Representative Diana DiZoglio say, is looking for loans from the state. Perhaps they're going to have to do some real a full audit that the state will want to see. They're going to have to really analyze what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. So, it could always be worse, and this is a perfect example that I'm talking about right now. So here in Haverhill, we're doing okay, and we could always do better. We strive to do better, and we will do better. And we're doing some very good things to correct some of our problems, like having UTEC here in Haverhill to help try to calm our streets with their education and their kind of training that they between 17 and 25. And there's going to be some really good things happening. So I want to thank our guest this evening, UTEC, who's actually their home base is Lowell. They're here in Haverhill working with the kids in our streets. And also for Representative Diana DiZoglio, who is a candidate for State Senate. And it's been a great evening. And we'll be back next Monday night with more guests and more conversation. And we're going to be right here, like we are every Monday night, on the new Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Join Bill Macek live on the new Open Mic again next Monday night at 6. The opinions expressed on the Open Mic Show are not necessarily those of 97.9 WHAV FM, its underwriters, or affiliated stations. The Open Mic Show came to you from the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom.